In this box is a 1/7 scale street racer from FTX. This is the Supaforza GT, a 1/7 scale electric powered on-road street car. 95% ready to run. There's all your specs there. It does need batteries. A lot of FTX come with batteries. This one's a 6S. It's got twin battery trays, so you'll need two 3S batteries for it. Hobbywing ESC in there. Comes in this classic blue colour and also comes in this red colour. And the red colour is the one we've got. Oh man, this thing looks so nice. That red, it's like a candy red. Can you see? It's like a candy red. Wow, it looks awesome. Now, I'm in a bit of a predicament here. This thing looks awesome. It's 1/7 scale. It runs 6S. I don't know how fast it is yet, but we'll obviously give it a speed run at some point. It's 4-wheel drive, centre diff. It's got a handbrake on it. It's got all the things that the ARRMA Infraction's got on it. And this is my very well loved ARRMA Infraction with a NASCAR body in it. Original body's down there somewhere. And as you can see, it is very well loved. And the reason I'm in a bit of a predicament here is because every time I talk about this, I tell you it is the best street basher you can buy. Move aside, is this FTX going to do the same for me as the ARRMA Infraction does? We'll have to find out. But what I won't be doing is saying whether this is going to be better than the Infraction or not in this video, or probably the next, or probably the next. I need to give this as much love as my Infraction before I decide whether it's going to be as good or better. In the box you get a set of instructions that will detail everything in there, from driving it to parts and stuff like that, and part numbers. I'm not sure if you get a bigger thing of stickers. This is the pre-sale one. It's exactly the same. It's just the first one, so they may have put the stickers on before they sent it to me. So just like the DR8, they give you some connectors that you can swap over to your batteries if you want to, or make some adapters. That looks like you can put an LED in the rear, and looking at the shape of it, it's for the rear diffuser there. Man, look at that back end. It looks awesome. There's another pinion there. Looking at the size of it, I don't know if that's a speed pinion or to gear down. And what I really like is you get some springs. You get some hard springs and you get some soft springs. So I guess that's in there is medium. And it feels pretty solid. Yeah. You might have to go for them soft ones straight away, but really seen that in like a RTR before. Different springs are what you get in a kit usually. This looks so nice from every angle. There's no guessing what it's meant to look like. Like the ARRMA Felony, it's got wider wheels at the rear to the front. Moulded mirrors, moulded spoiler, plastic splitter on the front. Is that a moulded grille in there? Yeah, moulded grille in there as well. Rear diffuser, that looks awesome. I'm sure it's got lights as well. Yeah, it looks like it. I can see them in there. LED lights at the rear and at the front as well. What do you reckon on the looks then? I think it's winning in the looks department. I had a Felony and that looked really nice, but I don't know. What do you think? So as well as body pins, it's got Velcro on the sides as well to keep them sides nice and solid. So there you can see all your lights wired in there. We'll have a look at them in a bit. And then this is underneath. And before anyone says it, it is not a complete copy of any of the ARRMAs. It's a completely different chassis and the components are different as well. So it looks like machined shock towers. You've got protectors there on top of the shocks. Nice anodized blue big bore shocks. Like I said, they feel quite solid. 150 amp Hobbywing ESC, 4274 size motor, 2000 kV. Does have a fan on the side there as well. 18 kilo servo there with a metal servo horn. You've also got a servo there for the handbrake. That is a feature that the ARRMA has. Dual battery trays, brace across the middle there. Machined rear shock tower as well. Centre diff in there. Like I mentioned, rear tyres are bigger than the front. Look like relatively big beefy UJs at the front there. Pillar balls, steering blocks, or whatever you call them. Normal drive shafts at the rear, sway bars, plastic chassis braces, big rear diffuser, and I think that's about it. Big bumper with your spoiler or splitter on the front there. These are extensions on the chassis. They're not part of the chassis, they're plastic, they're extensions there. Can't really see, but it looks like a metal center to the chassis. Yeah, so that looks like all metal there. That's plastic and then plastic extenders. Yeah, so it looks like the chassis is just that bit there. That shouldn't be an issue unless you're sending this off a ramp at the skate park, which you probably shouldn't do. Quick release pinion cover, I like that. I think that's a 12 tooth pinion on there, and that is a 14. I'm not sure this is going to be Infraction speed straight out the box, but looks like you've got plenty of room for gear in there. We shall see. A couple of 3S lipos in there, fit in there nice and neatly with the multi straps on there. Switch it on. Not bad. It's got a gyro as well, I think. Can't really show you on the workbench, but it has got a gyro. That's what operates your handbrake or your e-brake. That's that servo there, and that locks up the rear so you can do some handbrake turns. It's got a bit of punch. So there's your front lights. Now it has got annoying indicators. I'm not a fan of them, or turn signals. Now the rear lights don't look like they're permanently on, but you do have brake lights. I'd like to see them on all the time. I wonder if there's a way you can do it. At the end of the day, it's nice to have lights because not all cars, especially this size, come with all like LEDs and stuff, so that's good. Right, let's go and find an empty car park or somewhere to give this a slide. I'm going to do speed runs on another video because what I want to do is because it'll do 4S and 6S. I want to do 4S and 6S on the stock pinion and 4S and 6S without pinion. So that'll be another video rather than trying to squeeze it all into this one. And I know you guys are going to want to see this straight out of the box rather than waiting. So I can only do speed runs at the weekend, so you'd have to wait for this video if that was the case. Whoa! Right, let's take this outside. So just before we go out, the brake, like the rear handbrake, just undone that and brought it back probably half a mil or a mil. The drivetrain sounded a little tight and I ran it on here and the rear wheels were stopping before the front. Just releasing that brake half a mil, much better. Right, here we go, let's go. Yes! It rips. I was hoping it would. It is a ripper. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's a beast. Yeah, love it. Needs a quicker servo in. It's a little bit slow. I mean, it's got a gyro, but because the steering's not all that quick, it's not as point and shoot as the ARRMAs, I don't think. But still, it absolutely rips. I don't know how long these tyres are going to last. It actually feels like the stability or the gyro, whatever it is, it feels like it's holding power as well in a slide. I don't know if it is, but not in a bad way. I mean, it feels good. So let's talk Supaforza GT. What do I think of it? It absolutely rips. I think it's going to be an awesome street basher, street racer. There's a few niggly things we'll talk about now, but aside from that, what a rip. First minor issue, the tyres will rub. I did jump it a few times though, so it's worth putting a bit of tape in there. I don't like that the indicators come on. There's going to be a way that you can remove them anyway, so that's fine. The servo, it's a little bit sluggish. What is it, 18 kilo? Yeah, a bit faster will help, and that would also help with the gyro, because the gyro's okay, but because the steering's slightly slow, it's just not quite as, I think, like I said, point and shoot as the ARRMAs. But a servo and an RTR, they're generally not great anyway. Everything else, I mean, so far that was one full pack I put through it. I can't fault it, it's really good. The gyro, when you're in a turn, it feels like it's throttling back a little bit. So I need to look at the instructions to see if you can set that or change it. To be honest with you, on my infraction, I just switch it off. You don't need AVC on them, so it might be worth switching that off if you want to do some crazy donuts. And speaking of donuts, we're going to look at the tyres, because that's another, I don't want to say concern, and I keep referring to the ARRMAs because that's the only thing you can really compare it to. The ARRMAs are the same. If you're aggressive driving, one pack on the stock Hoons and they're pretty much gone. The surface I ran this on, really harsh, really grippy. I only ran this thing for about, I don't know, 6 or 7 minutes. Look at that drift wheel. That's a hard plastic drift wheel. Whoa, nearly trashed my Porsche. I'll put a quick screenshot as well. You can just see like the little bumps. It's designed to be like anti-slip because it's the top level of a car park. So there's one of the front tyres, not looking too bad. You got probably another few more runs in that. The rear one this side, now I set the camera because like how the Felony came out of the box, it was too much negative, and you could see where I ran it, I'll put the picture up, where I ran it on my workshop floor, you could see the line around there of the dust, which shows that it was quite a bit of negatives. That one I adjusted perfect. We'll talk about that one in a minute. The fronts I didn't adjust. That one looks good. This one you can see it's got a little bit too negative camber there, so we've worn that down. And looking at what I'd managed to do to this wheel has made me buy a proper tool for doing the camber. I went a little bit too crazy, and we went positive camber rather than negative. I didn't see it when I was setting it up, but it's way too much, and it's completely destroyed that tyre. So I think on a normal road surface, you're probably going to get 2-3 packs, maybe a bit more depending on how aggressive you're driving. Because I've got this early and it's not out there, you can't get the tyres. I've been told they should be in the same container as the actual cars. So the hoons will fit, the felony hoons. The rears on this are bigger than the fronts, the same as the felony. And I've got some silvers because these are slightly harder compounds, so they don't wear as much. They're not quite as grippy, but they don't wear as much. So for the speed runs, we're going to throw these on, and that's what I'm doing next. I'm going to speed run it. But overall, so far, I am really impressed with this. And now I'm going to redo the camber on the wheels, going to stick the hoons on, and then we're going to go and give it some speed runs. And that's what the next video of this is going to be. No, whoa, ho, 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 ho. Told ya. Oh my word.